Hey guys, I'm here to chat a bit about style essences. Um, if you don't know me, my name is Felicia Falla. I'm an artist, traveler, and I do social change through cultural art. It's kind of my motto with my art business. So for those of you guys in like the Truth is Beauty, the Essences communities, all of those places, I put makeup on last night and I washed all of it off except sometimes the like 24-hour lipstick will stay on, and then I usually don't get all of my eyeliner off. So there's some black still there, and I used other colors, but other colors came off. So, anyways, there you go. That's the like disclaimer for what I'm wearing, so you can kind of think through. I think I probably have some eyebrow filler in, but it looks like it's mostly off. Anyways, I'm gonna go through the 7 essences and talk about like how I'm processing each one. Where I'm at currently, I feel like it's changing all the time. There's several different combinations that have worked. So general overview is that most people think that I either have natural, classic, ethereal, or gamine. What are the other two? Classic also falls in there quite a bit. And all of them have romantic and ingenue also come up as well. So all 7 of them have come up in conversation, which kind of gets it confusing. There's some people that are fighting for a couple different combinations, blends pretty adamantly. I'm not sure yet. So there's that. And then I think for Kibbe, I think I'm leaning towards soft natural, possibly one of the classics, but soft natural. I think especially when I was smaller, like 70 pounds ago, 80 pounds ago, my shoulders were quite broad, and like I think I have the Kibbe width in the shoulders. Especially, I don't really think I have the vertical line, and I do have some smaller lines and maybe curve, but I think the width is what I've always had to accommodate for, especially going back into like high school and before I gained quite a bit of weight over the last couple of years, and then also I fluctuate a lot too. So anyways, all that to say, when I was smaller, I think it's probably soft natural, mostly accommodating for width in the shoulders. So there you go. Okay, we'll start with dramatic. There are a couple of people that have dramatic. I don't really see the dramatic in my face shapes. I do see vertical, especially in my middle third. But I do not think the vertical is dramatic. But when I wear certain things, like extended shoulders, I can do kind of extended shoulders and it doesn't overpower. So I guess I should also add that for those of you who aren't familiar with essences and Kibbe and color seasons, these theories have to do with things that enhance your natural beauty and make you the focus and do not detract from you. A lot of modern fashion, including a lot of what I do with fair trade and like creative fashion and stuff like that, and ethical fashion, is a lot of fashion is designed and marketed to be the focal point rather than making you shine. So 2 different things. This is specific to like what doesn't overpower and what doesn't compete with my natural beauty qualities, right? So it's dramatic. I can wear extended sleeves quite well. I don't very often because it's not my personality at all. Like I'm not one to I don't want to walk into a room and command that attention. I think it's awkward. I sometimes do with my hair, especially if it's up, like on a high up, or when it's long, I do, but it's not something that I enjoy necessarily. So there's kind of an awkwardness, even though it doesn't necessarily detract from my face, to where the shoulder emphasis. Elongated lines, I'm not sure for my whole silhouette. Sometimes I can like them, but I don't love them usually. So that's D. Then we have natural. Most people are pretty sure that I have natural. I lead with natural. I think my personality, my presence, the way I carry myself in real life definitely leads with N, natural. I don't know about the lines of my face. Not terribly natural, but it's still, the elongation I think still works with N or E, ethereal, which we'll get to later. But yeah, and also I do think that black hair should be included in the essence aspect. And that's Gabriella Arruda would be on that same line of thinking, and I agree with her on that. I think she would be anyways, based on her chart. But my hair is definitely N, E, or N is in my hair, and I wouldn't be able to pull off the hair if I didn't have some N. I think the thickness of my eyebrows is an N trait. And then I do kind of have some, not necessarily bluntness, but larger nose and wider lips, which can be N things. I'm not positive if they are. So for me or not. But I do think if my kibbe is N, then there would be subtle undertones of N, even if it's not obvious. And N, I do think my shoulders, I need to have some N. Like anything without any N in it in my like daily life is just uncomfortable. I hate it. It doesn't work practically with my lifestyle, the things that I'm doing, moving, just the looseness. There needs to be some N. So whether it's like obviously in my face or not, which most people think it is, one person thinks that people just, it's my style and so people see that, but even in just my face cropped with nothing else, even my hair out of the picture like it is back now, people still see N. And so I think N is, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me there's no N. Okay. So G is one of the controversial ones. I do think that my eyes have G qualities. And if G is there, it might be small G and small I, like where you can do things interchangeably. I'm not sure. But I do think I have G eyes. And part of that comes from the, like wearing red lips works for romantics and gamines typically. And maybe dramatics, so I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know that for sure. But my eyes are larger, slightly wider set, slightly larger. They also tilt up on the outer corner. That's a gamine trait. During COVID, when my mouth was covered, I wore a lot of gamine looks and it worked really well, especially like with the masks on. So I do think my eyes are gamine. A flat cap, I just moved it. The flat caps work really well. That's a gamine thing. Cropped pants and like rolling up my ankles to show a little, like having several lines along my ankles, breaking the vertical there seems to work really well. That can be either I or G. So I think there are G things that people are like, people don't believe me necessarily, or don't think that. But I do think that R and G eyes can be very similar. I think a lot of people see them as R. I think they're probably more G. And also the dark circle around the iris is either an I or a G trait as well. And so I don't think I have much youthfulness in my face outside of that, but the eyes, the like mischievous eyes are kind of, I think, one of the higher G things. So there's that. I'm gonna run out of time on my phone. So G, classic. When you have all of the blend, like all of the things, I feel like classic is just kind of there where the proportions aren't too off. There's not really much to caricature on my face. It's possible I'm a classic in the kibbe family too. In the classic family and kibbe, people think that, and I think this is true, that I need some crispness, like crispness. So like a crisp N has been one thing that's been said. And I'm like, I really agree with that. So C can be one of the elements of crisp, but D can be crisp, G can be crisp, I can be crisp. So crispness, not sure where it comes from for sure, but C is a possibility. And I don't look terrible in C lines, but on its own, it's pretty boring. But C can also be used to like rein things in and like neutralize them too. So that's the C element. Next is romantic. I look pretty bad in romantic, like collages. Some people like them okay, but overall they're not great. I think it's just too much over the top, like sexy, that just isn't me. I've also heard I be considered like small e, small r when it's like toned down. So in that sense, maybe R could work if it's really, really toned down. And R materials do work. That can also be dramatic. That can arguably be natural with like natural materials. The silky ones would be more dramatic or classic. The colors of R are my color season, deep winter, color season is controversial too because I'm in between winter and summer and I'm also an olive, but deep winter colors are some of my best, my wow colors. And so not black or white, which you're seeing me in now. Those are not, either one of those are my great colors. But those are all R colors. Those can be D colors. But soft and muted versions of those take away from the D and I think still fall within R. So I think R colors are pretty good for me. And you could argue that I have the nose and lips and cheeks for R. I do not have the eyebrows, but also my eyes could be considered R. I think those are just me being black and they're still fairly mild within African features. So I'm not convinced I have R either. But I can but mature. So you mix mature, dramatic, or ethereal, or you mix these things with R, and they calm them down. So possibly, there's a gal in the group that has the exact same chin shape and eye shape as me. Our noses and eyes are chin shape and mouth shape exactly the same, and I believe she was professionally typed as a CIE. And so I think, and a lot of C's, my jawline and smile matches up with a lot of a lot of I. So if I have ingenue, it's definitely in the bottom third. So I'm not sure. Yeah. So these shapes here are very ingenue. Which again, people don't necessarily believe that, so I don't know. But the people that have I are like, yeah, you have I. And E is next, and very similarly, people who have strong E and have either been professionally typed or like they know they have E, they see E features in me. The space between my eyebrows and my eye. My eyebrows are quite naturally pretty light, even though they're thicker. Light eyebrows is an eye thing. Mutedness, the olive, even though I'm darker than most eyes, I'm muted and olive, which is an eye thing. Several people will say like in my eyes, like they see the E in my eyes. And so I think my phone is going to die soon. So, or my storage space is running out.